welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Rose. Today we're going to be doing a brow tutorial on how I get my brows. They're pretty simple, they're just really time consuming. The products are easy, it's the effort, y'all. It's the effort. So without talking too much, because I do talk a little bit in this video, I got out of control, let's just hop right in and get these brows going. All right guys, diving right in. Woo! Woo, you don't see the difference till you have all your makeup on and your eyebrows are just all spicy like this. We got to get these under control. So the first thing I like to do is I actually use these two brow pencils here from Kat Von D. These are the Signature Brow, and I use the shade medium brown and dark brown. I'm gonna start with medium brown. I feel like there's controversy behind every single brand that I will possibly use anymore. There's more controversy around all this makeup than there is the daggum Bible these days, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and use this because I really do love the shape of it. Can you guys see it? Look at that. It just draws like perfect little hairs. So this is the first step that I do, and I love that this has a spoolie. And I'll just start, and I do not have any foundation on my head. We'll finish that in a moment. Another really good tip while I have you here, and I just thought of it, is I always make sure that my eyebrows are very dry. There's no moisturizer in them, because moisturizer will make it to where your eyebrows kind of get patchy, and then your brow pencil will not go on correctly. And we need to draw really tiny hair, so make sure your eyebrows are very dry and there's no product in your eyebrows. Again, starting with the medium brow shade, all of my products that I use will be listed below. I kind of look down into the mirror, and I like to start in the front. The front is where I'm going to put the least amount. And if you can see, I am just going to draw small little hair-like strokes just to build it up. And you can see them going in perfectly. I'm using a very light hand. I don't have to work as hard on this eyebrow, so this is the brow we're going to use. And then I'll even push these hair down. And this is one of the reasons I like to make sure there's no foundation on my forehead while I do this. That way if we make any mistakes, we can just kind of wipe it away. But for right now, I like to brush part of the brow down and draw upward strokes, and then I brush back through. Now I'm kind of going to do the same thing over here. And kind of just filling in. If you notice, I'm not just drawing a line under here. I like my brows to look a little more bushy these days, but I'm just continuing to fill it in. Instead of lines and just drawing like that, though, I'm drawing tiny little hairs. So I'm going to go back through and brush all of this, and I'm going to step back and I'm going to inspect. So we still need to fill in here and here. So I also want to do my rough brow over here as well. I wanted to show you guys how I do it. So I like to just comb this one up as well. And if you notice, I have a lot more hair missing over here, which is so funny because I never over plucked my eyebrows either. They just decided one day, look, guess what's happening? We're turning against you. But if you notice, I am just drawing upwards, and then I'll even correct it just by wiping it away. This is why I always like to make sure that I do not have foundation on my forehead. And this one comes down a little bit farther, so I like to match it to this one. Perfect. And then I'm going to drag you guys back over here to my less struggle brow. I'm going to brush up, and we're going to start to fill in. And here I kind of just fill it in and build up a little bit higher arch. And I'm still using the medium brown. And then I'll go back through in just a moment and we'll grab dark brown, and then we'll draw even more hair. You see this? You see what we're lacking? You just don't realize what you're lacking until you start to do your brow, and then you're like, oh, sweet merciful. What happened to me? So now I'm just going to draw hair-like strokes through here, and I'm kind of just going to brush it. Still building up that arch. quick comb through, and then we're going to switch over to dark brown. I'm gonna finish this one off camera though. He's over here struggling. Now I've switched to this shade dark brown, and I'm just going to start to build up through here. And I like to use the darker shade on the outer part of the brow. It just adds more dimension. And that way when we go to finish off the tail, it's just gonna have a lot more definition. Woo! Look at that eyebrow. So I'm always combing through just to check it out. And I'm also brushing the hair exactly where they're gonna lay when we apply the soap on them. But I'm still seeing a few parts that need a little more attention. And again, I'm still not gonna fill them in. I'm still just drawing hair, and I'm not just straight up filling it in. I leave the fill-in part to places that just absolutely need it, like right through here. And I will not take the product past right here. And the reason why is because we want the front of our brow to be very bushy and very soft. And even as I'm doing this, I'm still trying my best to draw hair. And I'm always brushing the product through. And I'm always even moving how I'm looking at my brow, because sometimes we can even leave this part not filled in. I remember when I first started doing makeup, that was one of the things that I was always really bad at. I would never realize that I needed to look down. Oh, he can't see to fill it in. Just like so. And the more you brush it through with the spoolie, the softer it's going to look. That looks about right. I'm gonna do it on this side as well. All right guys, the next step we're gonna do is I'm going to apply my soap. Now I just got this soap at a hotel. I know it's L'Occitane, I think I'm saying that right. They do have a store, and all this is clear soap. So when you're looking for clear soap, you're looking for a soap that has more of a yellow tint. And even though it has the yellow tint, that means it is going to go on clear. So if you have white soap, that's not gonna work. That's going to stay in your eyebrows and not be as cute. So definitely look for clear soap. So what I do is I spray just a touch of Fix Plus on here. Usually not too, because I usually don't miss it. That out of control, that was really, really sad. And then I'm gonna grab my Laura Mercier spoolie. Take my Laura Mercier spoolie and I run it back and forth over the soap. And then I will start to brush my eyebrow hair up towards the front. And I used to brush everything up, but this is kind of my vibe right now. I'm just kind of setting. So a lot of you ask, what does soap do? Soap acts like a brow gel, but it's the softest form of brow gel. Like there's nothing ever as soft yet holds it as well as soap for me, and I've used everything. And even if you get a few little pieces in here, we can always come back and just get that off with a makeup brush. But I like to make sure I'm just brushing up. I need a little more Fix Plus. I already have a lot of soap on here. I should have washed this before I did this, but it's cool. And I'm just going to continue to brush upwards. I am going to lightly carve underneath the brow, but I do this first, and then if I see any patchiness that I still needs a little filled in, like right through here, I'm going to grab brow powder and show you that. But for right now, we're just going to work on brushing the hairs exactly where we want them. And then since my spoolie is bent, and I bent it this way, I kind of just go and place them back where. I know this is really extensive, but this is just how I do my brows. It's out of control, but I really love the way it looks at the end. So I'm going to take this ANASTASIA brow powder in the shade Taupe, and I'm using a brow definer brush from Laura Mercier. I'm going to go into both of these, and this is the really easy part. Sometimes on days that I don't have this dramatic makeup, I'll just do this part in the soap. But for right now, I see a little bit of patchiness through here. And I always feel like brow powder just always looks the softest. No matter what, if you're going for a soft brow, brow powder is where it's at. And then once you already have the soap on here, it kind of picks it up. It picks up the brow powder and kind of creates like a pomade in itself. So just to here, and any sparseness, it's like out of control. And you can always remember, you can always go in a lot heavier towards the tail of the brow. And once we get some foundation and concealer on our forehead, it's gonna be real cute. Now I'm taking the smallest amount of Kylie concealer in the shade Gypsum. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. I'm talking minuscule. I'm not really carving out my brows, you guys. I'm really just cleaning them. I don't do a lot on top. In fact, I do not even put concealer on top. I'll use foundation because I'm just so afraid of having a white line up there. It's happened. I didn't feel at my cutest when that happened. So now I'm just kind of just cleaning, and this is a color pop. I don't know what it is. Oh, nope. What does that mean? What is that? What is this? What is this? Nope. I don't know what it is, but it's a very flat brush, and I really like it. And it is from ColourPop. So as I kind of just clean under here, I'm gonna pull the concealer down as well. This is why this is so much easier to do before you do your eyeshadow, but it's okay. And then if we made any mistakes, and then normally I would take a fluffy brush and set my eyeshadow primer after I did this. So we're gonna do that too. I'm gonna grab a bone colored shadow and set my brow bone. Right now, just cleaning it up like so. And I actually have some foundation on the back of my hand. My Armani, you can kind of still see it there. It's darker than, there it is. It's darker and it's a little dry, but it's still working. So I'm just gonna clean up here. And then I'll even take the concealer and kind of just brush it in the very front of the brow, just to make sure that it's not too harsh in the front. Real fast, I'm gonna hop off, pop foundation on my forehead, and then we're gonna make sure we don't miss any spots. Be right back. So I was just gonna grab a bone colored shadow. You could even use translucent. And I'm just going to set the brow bone. It kind of just sets the rest of your brow as well. Yep, that's perfect. That's all we're doing. That's my brows. I feel like I get asked about my brows so much, but they're so simple. The only thing about them that's complicated is the time that goes in. Like, the products I use are easy, and usually I'll even take more time on my eyebrows. This is kind of my eyebrow in a rush, believe it or not. I think my eyebrows are one of my favorite features to do. So it takes me forever, and I just love it. It's very therapeutic. I don't know what it is. It's just the idea of like creating the base for the rest of the makeup. Anyways, I'm going to hush now because I'll sit here and talk about eyebrows for days. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've already done a wing liner tutorial. I'll make sure to link that below as well so you guys can check that out. Let me know what else other day, like everyday makeup tutorials you guys would like to make things easier, maybe speed up your makeup routine. We can always share tips and tricks. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.